Hello, this is Amos Tarfa, Director of the Learning Institute for Excellence, your ACT and SAT coach. Just wanted to tell you one of the main strategies for preparing for this cohort, for this school year, 2024-2025. One of the first things every student needs to do is make sure that you have a time audit. What is a time audit? A time audit is where you write down, you take a grid from Monday through Saturday, for example, and you write down what you're doing at any given hour during the day. You need to be able to account for every hour of your day. So maybe you're playing soccer, going to school, having lunch, that's fine. But what are you doing with your free time? Take some of that time and dedicate it to preparing for the SAT, the ACT, and reading books about different careers. If you know beyond a shadow of a doubt what you want to do with your life, then take the next step, which is where you begin to stand apart, stand out. So for example, you want to go into computer science. Well, now is the time to refine your Python programming skills. Now is the time to refine your skills in computer science before you even go to university. That's how you're able to compete to get into the top universities, is that you're able to show that you've been working outside of your regular school curriculum to enhance your skill sets. Let me give you an example. If you want to be a math major, then it would make sense that you know what Fermat's last theorem is. So if you don't know what that is, this is a good time to get a book or to get a video about Fermat's last theorem. Andrew Wiles, who was at Oxford University, solved the problem, but he found the problem when he was 10 years old, and he dedicated time to solving the problem later in life, got a PhD in math, went to Princeton, and he's at Oxford, but he's actually from Cambridge, by the way, or I believe grew up in Cambridge area. So here's the thing. If you want to study math, look at the problems that people have solved in recent years. Make sure you know who Terence Tao is. Make sure you know who David Hilbert is. Make sure you know who Leonard Euler, Isaac Newton, James Clerk Maxwell. Okay, be able to talk about these people and the work that they've done. Their work is not required for you in your school, but you're doing it because you love the knowledge. If you want to be a computer scientist, do you know what Python is? Are you pretty good at it? Do you have a project you can do? By the way, if you're looking for a project, I could give you one. I'm trying to make a timeline machine that can tell us and arrange the different inventions and technologies in mathematics and science in order of when they occurred, right? So then I want to be able to type in 1942, and it shows me all the inventions or discoveries of 1942 in chemistry, physics, and math. That's just an idea of a project. Talk to me later if you want to do that. If I win the Nobel Prize, I promise I'll share some of it with you. But anyways, the point is, find a project and execute on the project. And if you want me to find you another project, I could do that. If you want me to connect you to someone who can give you solid projects to work on, let me know. Or you could just Google Python projects to improve my skills. The point is, if you want to get into MIT and Caltech and Berkeley and Princeton and Oxford and Cambridge, you have to be doing work outside of what is typically required of people in your grade level at your school. There's a list of things that you should be looking at if you want to attend a school like those ones I mentioned. One of them is graduating in the top 5% of your class. Another one involves what I just discussed. And there's other things. Learning another language. Let's talk about that one for a second. Back when I was in Lagos, we would take 4 years of French, right? But a lot of us were just taking it, well, we had to take it, we didn't have a choice. But then we were trying to get the grades just so that we could then take WAEC and so on and so forth. We're not trying to learn the French because we were hoping to speak French fluently with somebody someday. See, that's not a good way to learn something. It is important to learn a thing as though you're going to use it. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. If you're learning a language right now in school, learn it well enough to use it, to speak it. That's part of the level of competence you want to be aiming for. Don't settle for mediocrity. Be thinking about how can I learn this thing like I'm going to use it someday. So one last strategy for our students in the STEM excellence community and in the ACT, SAT cohort. When you learn something and you know you're going to use it someday, it changes your attitude 100% in how you learn the thing. Here's an example. If somebody was learning calculus, someone was learning math and they knew that they had to do calculus someday and that the math that they were learning was going to lead them to do calculus well, they might apply themselves more to that math that they're doing. But if they're not going to do calculus, or we tell them they're not going to do calculus, some of those people will not apply themselves to excellence and they'll find themselves in trouble because they're half-hearted, they're doing the math with a half-hearted attitude. Think about this in medicine. Imagine if you were working as a surgeon under me. Okay, let's say I'm a surgeon, senior surgeon, you're a surgeon, and I tell you, hey, learn these things because you're going to do a surgery. You're going to do surgery in January for somebody. You're going to pay more attention if I tell you that you're going to do surgery later. But if I just told you, hey, learn how to do this, it's just fun to just hang out with me, you're not really going to use it at any point. Do you think I'm going to apply myself to learn it well when I don't think I'm going to use it? See, if I know I'm going to use it, it changes everything. That's the attitude we need to have to education. Think of it like a battlefield. You're going to go to battle, like a soldier. If the soldier knows he's going to go to battle, he's going to learn single thing, right? They're going to learn every single thing they need to know because they know the battle is coming. I think education sometimes doesn't show that, especially in America, where students can maybe be more relaxed and on certain things, rather than saying, hey, I need to learn this because someday I need to use it. Use that attitude to learn, and you will be exceptional in your academic pursuits. Make sure you're learning not for the sake of just completing a task and saying I did it and putting a check mark, but you're learning it as though you're going to teach it to somebody else someday. If you take that attitude with you in education, you'll probably graduate in the top 5% of your class. You'll probably be exceptional in your undergraduate, wherever you go, and you will probably be exceptional in whatever field of study you go into because you have a mindset of action. I'm learning for a purpose to be a blessing to someone, to be able to teach someone someday. I hope this was encouraging to you. This is part of our STEM Excellence discussion. We have a group that is forming. You'll be hearing more about it here in the next few weeks. We have this STEM Excellence community where we bring people together from all around the world and we give them strategies and nuggets and skills in different STEM fields. We give them knowledge and skills in the history of math and science so that they understand how the concepts they're learning now came to be. Like you talk about logarithms. Well, who's John Napier and why did he come up with logarithms? Okay, let's talk about that. And maybe you might come up with some ideas yourself, right? So we have the STEM Excellence community, we have the STEM Excellence curriculum, we have the STEM Excellence publication, which is an opportunity for you to publish some of your findings, right? These are different ways to encourage you to begin to think like a scholar so that you can go out to whatever university you want to go into and make an impact, hopefully as an ambassador for Christ and for truth. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.